So, guys, can you hear me?
Hold on. We got something playing in the background.
Yeah, I can hear
Good, good. All right. Well, here we are.
Alright.
Do a little art jam and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm not going to do any like trailer views or anything. We're just going to draw in a model. Let's put on the music here. So, what you guys been up to?
I discovered crack.
Okay. Oh, Caliph,
Huh?
me and John were gonna play some Star Citizen tonight. Did you still want to play?
No, I'm playing the Baldur's Gate with a friend.
Huh?
I'm
Say
already
what?
set up. I'm gonna play some Baldur's Gate 3 with a friend today.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's a good game. You should get that game.
So we just gonna ignore the fact that I discovered crack.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
that's on you, man.
More for me. Oh man.
So, what did you want? You wanted to show us something, Demetrius?
Oh no. Without the paint layer, you won't be able to really notice it. But
I thought you were saying something about some photos that you wanted to show us.
I showed you all the pictures earlier. This the backgrounds I want to use. Some of the backgrounds I want to use. Let me get the outline out of there. But you'll see it coming across. You can see my if you look at it right now, you can see the outline of my character.
Yeah, let me solo view you here. Can you
I wanna
zoom
blow
in?
it up. Yeah,
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
and I think I found a great picture for.
All right. Now, when you took the photo of this area, did you get multiple angles of it?
No, I was moving by
Mistake.
my.
That
I
was a
didn't have.
mistake.
I know I'm gonna go back to the same area and do it over
Yeah, you
again.
should have got like some side shots of it, some looking up shots. Maybe put your
Yeah.
phone or your camera on like a stick and get like a, looking down shot.
Yeah.
That way you have multiple angles to use for your comic.
We talked about that earlier, but yeah.
Cool
But
thing
you
too
see,
is you could with Photoshop you can turn this into a night scene if you wanted to.
Mhm.
AI would do it for you too.
we're not
Hey,
fans of AI.
for the drawing layer, can you change the blending mode of it?
I'm sorry. What?
The blending mode. You got blending modes in Krita, right?
I don't know. Let's find out. Remember,
Let's
I'm
see.
not a digital artist.
Put the photo back on. Put the photo back on. And then right click your paint layer, one. Right click the layer. Let's see, what do we have here?
Did you mean paint layer 1 or my first layer? That's
paint-
paint layer 1.
Whatever
Paint
your
layer
blue
1.
whatever your blue lines are.
Oh, okay. Because that's my first layer.
Whatever.
All right.
What's your blue lines? What are your blue lines? What layer is that on?
I just didn't rename it yet. This is body outline.
Okay, so yeah, click on that layer. Are you sure that's the blue line layer?
Oh, I'm sorry, sketch layer.
Yeah, sketch layer. Okay. All right, so there should be a I don't know what it's called in Krita. But
Flat layer, flat image.
No, I'm looking for like blending options. Add, convert, split alpha. So it's not in here. It must be in somewhere else in the layers palette. Get out of this. Get out of this drop down menu.
Okay.
Krita is just so weird. So in the layers palette, what options does it give you? Okay, let's just look it up. Just look up. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay, I'm already looking that up. What do you want me to look up?
Look up blending options. Blending options in Krita. It's usually in the layers palette somewhere.
What are you trying to get me to do? That's what they're asking now.
Well, you can turn, because you have a dark photo in the background, you can turn the layer. If you put a blending option, you can make it lighter so that you can actually see the image more clearly over the photo without having to put a background on the actual.
So let's go to layer, transform, paste,
I see.
convert.
So Krita doesn't have blending options? I see import, transport.
Blending modes. You will first need to use.
Let me look it up real quick.
I'm reading what they're saying. You will first need to use modifiers Alt Shift, then use the hot. I don't know if I'm saying.
Damn, you gotta do all that for some blending options? Like you don't do like multiply, color dodge, linear dodge.
Yeah. Let's see. You got filter. You got blur, artistic.
Nah, it wouldn't be a filter. Let me look it up. I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I thought Krita would have it. Most decent art programs have blending options. Krita blending options like multiply.
You didn't just use Clip Studio or something, man?
He's cheap. Multiply.
Very.
I mean, if Krita is doing what you needed to do, though, so.
Hey, I'm gonna finish this work and then jump to the next more serious. What?
Yeah, it says it. So in the Krita layer dock, select the blending mode you want to use. Multiply overlay for the layer you're drawing on. So there's a layer dock. Where's the layer dock at? I thought we saw it.
This one? Layer.
No, layer dock. The dock, what's your layer? Yeah, to the right. Scroll down. See right here. Oh, see where it says normal? Are you on your sketch layer?
Yeah, hold on. Let's see what you're talking about.
Turn the photo back. Turn the photo back on. And then see where it says normal. I can't believe I missed that. And then go to something like go to
color dodge, darken.
Go to addition at the top. Do you have the opacity all the way up? Yeah, turn your opacity all the way up. There you go. Next scroll now, zoom out so you can kind of see it a little bit. I guess because it's blue, so it's not as strong. Yeah, if it was white, it would work a little better, but
This is something I know to use. But what's going on with everybody else?
Not much, man. Still working on this Riva. You know what I want to know? Lightsabers. Or what kind of metal are they made out of?
Different.
Well, I
Like
mean, it would have to be strong enough to withstand the heat of the
well,
blade.
it's not. The blade doesn't come out of the lightsaber; it comes out of the focusing crystal at the top.
Still, though, I
You're not.
mean, it's real close to the metal tip
I
of
mean,
the
the metal wouldn't even matter. I mean, they even got the guns that can shoot. Even the guns have crystals in them too. It's just that I don't think heating is a problem for them. Even more simple metals.
plasma, though. So, and it's getting really close to it. So you would think that it would melt it, at least a tip of it, right? So what is it made out of?
Space science. We don't understand it.
Well, I mean,
I'm
there are
trying to
different
find some video or
there are
something.
different metals in Star Wars that can withstand.
You got the Beskar, of course.
Blade.
Yeah,
Frick.
Jedi's won't be able to use that.
I know Palpatine's is made out of like him and Mace Windu's are made out of that gold material.
Expensive material, yeah.
You know what I've been thinking about too is not trying to color this with markers, color this with the pencil applications versus the markers because it feels better. I was playing with those the other day, and it just felt better to do this, even though it might take a little bit longer to color it. The markers don't feel as good. You feel me?
Nope.
The hell with you. So you don't gotta be my friend.
In Star Wars, lightsabers are primarily made out of a metal called Mandalorian iron, also known as Beskar. So, okay, that makes sense then. The metal is known for its exceptional durability and resistance to lightsabers, making it a common material for crafting hilts, as well as armor and weapons. Other metals like cortosis, frick, and song steel are also mentioned as being resistant to lightsabers, but Beskar is the most commonly used and well known. So most lightsabers are made out of Beskar.
That's something I did not know.
Which makes sense because I was like, yeah, regular metal is not going to withstand the heat of a lightsaber. Because remember those scenes when in Phantom Menace when Obi-Wan and what's his name and Obi-Wan's master Qui-Gon, when they were like, cutting through the metal doors on the boot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like their lightsabers have to be made out of something stronger. That means lightsabers are expensive as hell. Right here, though, this person says, so the casing can be made out of anything, normal Durasteel, bone, coral, rancor tooth, or whatever. But I think the center part of it at least has to be made out of that Mandalorian steel.
Well, the best, the cortosis was what, that awful Star Wars show that came out last year. What was it? Alkalite had?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
It was like basically it shorted out lightsabers.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it, the whole series either, and the lightsabers look funny in that show. It looked all big and bulking. I'm like, you spent how much on this show?
Well, it's supposed to take place in an older time, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't so far removed that the technology behind making them was different. And to tell you the truth, they had one.
That's true.
They had another character who had a lightsaber whip, and that's actually far beyond the capabilities of any of the people during Anakin's time.
Yeah, how does the physics for that even work?
The lightsaber whip.
Yeah.
In the books, Lumaya, her lightsaber whip had like tendrils, not tendrils, but they had emitters going all the way through the whip. If I remember correctly, okay. I'm not gonna say, but the one they had in shows just seemed like just a light whip.
Yeah.
Space science, we don't understand it. It's beyond us.
I mean, there's probably some lore thing, but it's super complicated. It's not something that's just simple. You can understand just from looking at it. You have to go in some.
Yeah, because you would need
random book.
a magnetic field to bend plasma. So it makes sense that the one would have emitters, and it's just like an emitter whip, really. But the one
Space
where
science.
it's light, yeah.
Yeah. G-Flux is actually a little bit slow. It's a little bit easier to sculpt animal heads than I thought it would be. I mean, I still got a lot of work to do on it, but for my first time sculpting an animal head, I don't think this is horrible.
Looks good to me. I mean, it seems to me once you get some basic skills down for sculpting, you should really be able to sculpt almost anything, right?
Yeah, it definitely feels like it. I didn't think. I was looking at the head. I was like, at first, I was like, I don't know, because something like
Caleb, let me ask you. Caleb, let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried playing with clay or anything like physical clay?
I've made like a pot before, if you mean that, but I haven't tried to sculpt anything like a statue wise. That's what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I've only made like a pot, and that was like when I was in Boy Scouts.
Excuse me.
Boy Scouts.
Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff to do. When we go to summer camp, there's like a lot of different activities you can choose, and pottery was one of them. And I made like a pot.
Does Ranger Rick take advantage? I'm just messing with you. But yeah, man, I was just curious because like you're getting really, really good. And that's I'm like, well, G-Flux saying it. That's y'all see a lot on the same page. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, I look at stuff and like, okay, Caleb made another thing. But no, exactly, it looks really good.
I mean, physical sculpting is a lot different. I could try. There's probably some local classes I could try to see. There's like some local classes I can take or something. I can do like some real sculpting,
Yeah.
Even I don't know if we're gonna translate one for one doing real sculpting versus digital sculpting.
No, I'm just curious, like, cause some people they see things done and they want to do like take it on to the next medium. Like I always enjoy drawing, and I love seeing people doing it. So I just was curious about that. What inspired you to become a digital sculptor?
The only reason I became a sculptor was because I was horrible at drawing, so I kind of went to 3D. The 3D at first, it was more of a technical thing, right? Because my artistic skill is pretty bad, but from a technical point of view, you can create something that looks pretty good in 3D in comparison to like drawing something, right? If you technically draw something in 3D, even from a technical point of view, if you don't add some artistic spin to it, it's gonna look trash. But it's like in 3D, you can make something look realistic, and that's fine. But to make something look realistic in 2D is still more complicated in the 3D. Like, I mean, I just move a slider, and the lighting is good for me. In comparison, we get to draw each like little white dot for the line. It can't be too bright or it's like too unrealistic. It was literally just because I couldn't draw. I was mainly the only reason I became a 3D artist. I mean, I could try to learn how to draw now, but it would still take a good couple years for me to get to the level I'd want to be at. And I'm still at the level I want to be at as far as 3D goes. That's why I have an art mentor right now, because he's the one that recommended me to do this.
So back to me smoking crack in person. So and that's gonna be my ongoing joke for this session. But now, back to Star Wars. I'm glad they're still trying to fight back from where from all their down and lows over the last few years.
They can't. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah, he's right about that. Like, they've lost too much. I mean, there's a lot of people that like it, but at this point, like, there's some fans that never come back. Some of the fans, like super fans, that buy every statue. You still have lost a big source of income, and it's just still going to be a stain of your brand. Did you hear about the AI thing they're doing? I literally saw about it earlier. We can watch the next podcast, but like, there's one of the not directors, one of the people is trying to make Star Wars and some AI projects or whatever. They had like a whole, that thing when they go on the stage and they talk to people, where they have those events where they have to go on the stage.
Yeah,
they did that, and they were showing some like new Star Wars AI or whatever, and I'm like, what the world? Like, after Andor, this is what you want to do? Like, we can watch the next podcast, but I mean, even one of the people at Disney is trying to push some Star Wars AI, which I mean, he didn't look good, but somehow I made it up there.
G-Flux, I got a question. If I don't want to color out these damn lines, because that's time consuming trying to color like a 2-year-old, what do I do?
You said a what?
If I don't want to color outside these black lines I've laid down.
You got to make sure your lines are closed off,
Mm-hmm.
and then make a selection on the outside, so that the selection doesn't go inside the.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to make a section on the negative space of your drawing, but you got to make sure your lines are closed off so the selection doesn't go inside.
Well, I see where they're open. I'll re-ink it later.
Yeah,
I just
you
want
want to go in and clean that up, and then you can make a selection on the outside, and you can put a mask on it.
Okay.
I'm saying add a little more detail to this, and then just move to the next one, because he says they don't have to be too crazy. It's just the basic idea, you know.
Yeah.
So, I am so like, AI is a good tool as far as it's becoming a lot more useful, but I still think it's cheating. Like,
I mean, what's
I still
the
want to, and then I sometimes I just want to call you lazy motherfuckers. Pick up a pencil. That's what I had to do.
I understand what they do it though. I mean, learning art is a hard process, and I mean, if you look at the best artists, they literally had to dedicate their life to get that good. Like, if you have a whole,
You got to dedicate your life to almost anything to get that good. So Demetrius is right. It's fucking laziness.
I mean, but they might have other things to do. Not everybody has their whole life to spend on art, you know, or either enjoy, because you might want to do art, but
don't be an artist. Don't be an artist.
You can't do it.
Well, you're not an artist. If you're using AI to generate most of your art, you're not an artist. You're not an artist.
I know that, but it's like not everybody enjoys.
You're an AI. You're an AI slop. You're an AI slop generator. That's what you are. You're not an artist.
And especially at the beginning, trying to do art at the beginning is real rough. I know he told you how rough it is.
Everything you do that you don't know how to do before, and you're trying it for the first time, is rough. That's what kind of excuse is that?
I mean, sometimes it's hard to see the other side, man. I understand why they do it, but I choose that path. No, but it's like art is hard. It is not for everybody. It's one thing.
Everything you do that requires any sort of expertise is going to be hard when you first do it.
Art is hard, but being a lazy motherfucker is easy. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
It's like when you can't do the art, the thing was you're supposed to pay somebody, right? It's like my car breaks down. I say, you tell me to go fix it. I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go pay somebody to fix my car because I'm not going to learn everything about a car mechanic. I don't want to do that. You know? That's why we pay people to do the stuff we don't want to do. Like, I mean, for one, it's not even possible for a human being to do everything, just everything in general. Like, you can't. I mean, I guess there are people who are jack of all trades, but I mean, that's not the average person. Sometimes you got to accept things that are just not in your capability, and you got to pass it on to somebody else, you know, unless you really just like doing it.
These lazy motherfuckers.
I mean, I understand. Like actually, most artists to some degree won't reach the highest level. You know, you'll get okay.
Most people won't reach the highest level as far as fame and people knowing who you are in most fields.
I don't mean fame. I just mean
why are you making these excuses for art? Like, you know, I don't get that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
When the Terminator comes and takes his when the motherfucking Terminator comes and takes his place, he'll be like, man, I should have listened. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you should have listened.
I'm not even using. What are you talking about? I'm just trying to understand how people use it. I don't use it. Like, good Lord, man. You see me sculpt the whole thing right now, dude.
It's coming. T1000 is coming to eat your kids.
But it's like, I understand why people use it to a certain degree.
Laziness. Now, I have seen where people are doing the AI art and like, it's not like they're just putting in a prompt. They put in a prompt, they take it in Photoshop, they do some edits, and they mess around with some different layers, and they put it back in there to do some more prompts. It's almost like they're layering effects on top of it. And it takes a lot of time.
That's what University did, and people hated that man for that.
It takes a lot of time. Now, I still kind of technically don't consider it art, but it's far more involved than just typing some shit in and the AI just generates some stuff for you.
Well, they have some form of art knowledge, though, at least, you know, at least do that. But I
I'm gonna
still
start.
have to say
Hey,
some of the stuff that AI
I'm gonna start.
looks better than like the average artist. I'm sorry, but some of that stuff that it makes stuff looks better than me. I'm sorry, it just does. Like,
I'm gonna start a field segment of our show called the Lazy Motherfucker of the Week. See what I can find.
me. And sometimes at the end of the day, like the people who look at art, sometimes you just see them looks good. They don't care if it's AI or not. You know.
And you know what? You want to know what I think the AI.
The only people who I
come
know who prefer the AI art over, people actually generally doing are douchebags like that one guy. What's his name? The sword guy. Damn, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about, Carbon.
Will he be our first lazy?
Shadowversity,
that guy, yeah.
Will he be our first lazy motherfucker?
Artist who was kind of crazy, like I guess his art wasn't the best. That's like what I mean. Like he wanted a higher level than what he was.
Yeah, he's lazy. He's lazy.
Trained for decades to get that.
Yeah, he's
but
lazy.
Not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah, he's lazy. He's lazy.
So is he?
He was really an artist before. Like he actually was a whole artist. Like his brother is one of the most famous artists on YouTube. Like, what do you mean the dude used to draw?
I'm not talking about his brother. I'm talking about him. He's lazy.
He used to draw too. But he can't achieve
to.
the level of the art that he wants.
Because he's lazy.
It's not just dude, like what I said,
not
right. Lazy.
Will achieve the highest
hold on. Hey.
Bro, that's not the reality.
Is he being nominated for the first lazy motherfucker?
No, but that's not the reality. Like, let's be honest.
Lazy. He's lazy.
He's a lazy motherfucker.
Whole life of art, but this art is still way better than you. And you probably want to be a better artist than you are now.
Hold on. First and foremost, I applaud people who are better than me. I admire people that are better than me. Being lazy is just lazy. I can't do it, so I'm gonna get this fucking program to do it and say it's mine. It's not yours. It didn't come from you. All you did is tell an algorithm what the fuck to do. But walk away and go make a sandwich. If you gotta sit there and put effort and make corrections and see where and when, or ask people, hey, how is this? What should I change? That's art. It comes from the soul. Soulless artwork is just soulless bullshit. And them motherfuckers
That's why, in my opinion, the AI stuff will never take off because it all really kind of looks the same. Even though it's like highly rendered, it all kind of looks the same. Now, I've seen some people do some different stuff with it, but you can still kind of tell, like, yeah, it kind of looked like it was generated with AI. You know what I'm saying? It still has somewhat of an uncanny valueness to it.
And you know what? I don't think you're using the right word to describe it by saying uncanny. I think I'm saying soulless is the correct wording, because like I said, you're not putting any effort of your own into it. You're putting in the algorithm. Matter of fact, the other day, just to make myself laugh, I was sitting at work between TV shows, right? I put in Galactus, right? The Black Galactus. And I came back to my desk and I'm like, oh shit, this shit is terrible. And I walked away. Like, we could come up with something better on our own, because we have to feel it out. We have to see, okay, this is that, this works, this doesn't work. AI is just going to go through a billion images and combine the best aspects of it. When it has to come from you, it's the best aspect of you coming out, not some fucking bullshit that came off the internet. Lazy motherfuckers, I can't stand them.
I would say if it ever gets better than what it is now, remember that one scene in Star Trek, The Next Generation, where they go to that planet that was way more advanced than them? So much so, they were so much more advanced that when what happened was that civilization stole the Enterprise's all their children because they couldn't have children anymore. And the Enterprise like, you can't just take our children. So as a warning for them not to come get their children back, that civilization shot this beam around their planet and it hit the Enterprise and it knocked it like 7 days away. Like it took them 7 days to get back to that planet. It was a warning. That's how powerful they were. But you find out later on in the series that they let AI take over and the AI did everything and they have forgotten how the technology works. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
hold on. So let me get this straight. I remember us talking about this before, right?
Yeah.
And they might these people on this show on Star Trek from 1992. They might be our second nominee for lazy motherfuckers of the week, right? Um, you mean to tell me they took kids because they couldn't have kids, or
Yeah, because the computers and the machines that were making this planet like a utopia or whatever was also making it so that they couldn't have kids. It had something to do with the atmosphere or something like that. So they actually had to turn it off so they could start having kids again.
so the physical action was there. They just couldn't conceive. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, man, did these motherfuckers forget how to fuck? What the
No,
Oh, we no longer we no longer need to consummate. I'll kill myself.
God.
What do you mean? Couldn't the AI just genetically make children at that point?
No.
It'd be like in the Matrix. They figured it out in the Matrix. They'll just basically they were picking and choosing who had kids together, and then they were harvesting them. Oh man, Star Wars is bad. Star Trek was ahead of its time.
Oh, definitely. I need to go finish watching. I'm only on like the 4th season, I think.
Of what?
The Next Generation.
I was always a Deep Space Nine man, though, man.
I wasn't a big Star Trek: The Next Generation fan when it was airing because I didn't like the TV format for it. I remember watching the movies for the first one and really liking the movies, and I always thought The Next Generation just looked corny. But man, as an adult, going back and watching it, it's like, man, this is some good television, man. Like, just really good stories.
Well, you know, as revered as the first Star Trek show was with Kirk, it wasn't on that long. You know that?
It was only like 2 years, right?
Yeah. I like, but I remember, like, man, this show has gone on forever. And then you realize, no, this show was on for. What really saved that Star Trek was the first couple of movies, and then I think that it was like the last one with Kirk and Leonard Nimoy. Damn, what is his real William Shatner? It was like 1984, 85, and then a couple years later they came out with Next Generation. But I still, even though it had a lot of, it was real preachy at times, I still like a Deep Space Nine mostly out of all the Star Treks.
That dude has a shitty looking ship. I'm not gonna lie, man. They did a horrible job.
You talking about the Defiant?
Yeah, that shit looked like trash, man. It's like,
I like
damn, designs are better than that, man. It's like, damn, man.
Well, it was designed to be a compact warship, if I remember.
I don't care. I don't care. Like, make it look better. Make it look better. I'm sorry.
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying what it was designed for.
I mean, does it function well? The look doesn't matter, bro.
Nah, that shit look like trash, dude. Have you seen it?
I don't know. Hold on. Does it function? No, it doesn't function well. No, because like when it first came, it was really small. Like if you think of a warship, you think of something coming to like fuck shit up. Bring it. Hey, somebody want to bring the image up, or should I?
Actually, man, most of the old Star Trek ships look kind of goofy. I'm gonna be honest. Most of them look kind of good. Most of the old Star Trek.
I think later on, like they started.
Later on, yeah. You talk about the beginning, bro. It was just like flying saucers and discs. I'm like,
yeah. But later on, they started taking that basic design and kind of streamlining it, and they started doing cool stuff. But even those old ones, look better than that fucking Defiant. That Defiant look like straight.
Right, that Defiant can't be that
trash,
bad,
dude. Bring it up. Demetrius.
I don't know. Y'all see my screen?
No.
You're just showing your other stuff, man.
You know, you could present stuff, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you could present stuff through StreamYard.
Hold on.
Yeah, you could present stuff through StreamYard.
But give me 1 second up. But
oh boy.
Are you tired already, man?
I'm not like tired, like I'm ready to go to sleep. But I woke up at 12 p.m., so I'm kind of like getting over all my grogginess. I haven't even eaten anything today.
Me and my mother went out to breakfast this morning. I was like, oh, this is cool. Hold on. Yeah, here's the present button. Give me 1 second, my friends. But nah, I was like, I didn't save it. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the concept of the ship was always cool. Like they need the Federation needed a warship, but they didn't want to tell anybody about it.
Could have made it look better. That's for sure.
Obviously, they didn't want nobody to see it because they had a cloaking device. Like, oh, we don't want nobody to see this shit. This shit's ugly.
This shit like
You got standards and practices to keep up with it. You got standards and practices to keep up with. And then it came up with this bullshit.
Excuse me.
Nope. Sorry, hold on. Give me 1 second. But yeah, what's that ship you were telling us about? The Enterprise, like J, that's like a size of a fucking city. I'm like,
Yeah, it was
God
huge.
damn.
Yeah.
But they've never come out with a full-fledged image of it.
Now you can find full images. People have done models of it too. You know how much farther in the future is?
I think that's the furthest extent in the future that they go in.
No,
Star Trek.
I'm saying for next generation from the
I think it's
original.
like 200 or 300 years beyond.
It's back that far as that? I thought it was only like 60 or 70 years. I could be wrong though.
I could be wrong too, but I think that's the case.
Because Spock is still around, but they live longer though.
Is Spock still around?
Yeah, he appears in the show. He's older, but he appears in the show. How many years does Next Generation take place from OG Star Trek? Let's see. It's roughly 100 years after the events of Star Trek, the original series. Specifically, TNG is set in the mid-24th century, with the first season taking place in 2364, which makes sense because everyone lives longer. I think humans at that time lived to be like almost 200, right?
Mm-hmm.
200, dang.
Almost, I think, or it might be a little over 100. How long do humans live in Star Trek? 120, about 120 years. And I think Vulcans live to be how long? Vulcans live to be about 200, and some live to be about 220. Even 300. Some can live to be as long as 300. But yeah, with all the advancements of like medical technology, humans' lifespans, increase dramatically.
But shit.
What are the cousins of Vulcans? They were
Romulans.
Yeah, Romulans.
Man, those people were always hard in the games, bro. I remember I played the MMO game, bro. You fought those people. Those people were always hard, man. Their ships did so much damage.
They live to be about 200 too.
You know, my favorite creatures in Star Trek was the Klingons for the longest time, and then I forgot what show it was. It was Next Generation, and Worf ran up on Data's brother. He beat his ass.
He
Man,
beat.
you're supposed to be a warrior. What happened?
You said a what? Oh, you mean Data's beat up Worf?
No, his brother did.
Oh yeah, Data's brother. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought that was one of the criticisms in the Black Manosphere is that Worf was always getting his ass beat, even though he's supposed to be the big strong guy.
I remember. Hold on. I see 2 images of this damn thing. It didn't stop. But pop up. I I remember they had the one and that when the war started with the Jem'Hadar, the Worf was beating their asses left and right, and I was like, oh okay, and then Worf was running up on people and then got his ass whooped. I'm like, come on, man, Worf, you got to do better. Because I always thought, oh, Lieutenant Worf running up, ass is about to get whooped, and he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, Worf became kind of like the Incredible Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you wanted to show someone is really strong, you just have him beat up Hulk.
And that they had there was one episode on the on what's the name of that show? They had the one image on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and it was like deep into the show, and Worf and his wife, they had to go behind enemy lines to get this information, and Worf she was got hurt and she was dying, and Worf was like, I can't go without you, and she's like, well no, you gotta go, the mission is more important. Worf got halfway through that mission like, hold on, is this mission more important than me and my woman? Nah, nigga, I'm going back. He saved her, and then they came up. Do you understand what you've done? Yeah, that's it. My happy home more important than this silly ass mission you got me going out there to get killed. I can't. Make life easy on myself. But like as far as just thought provoking narratives, Star Trek has always been better.
Yeah.
But
it's sad though because Star Wars has so much potential they just squander over and over again.
But when it comes down to when it comes down to this overall just entertainment, Star Wars is there. But it's when it comes down,
not anymore. Of course, I heard Star Trek's not doing too well now either. I tried watching that new series. It was okay. The first season was okay.
because it goes in the face that some the stories are better in the 90s. I'm not sitting there trying to take anything away from whatever they had going on, like whatever they had going on at but Picard, I'm sorry, what's his name? Professor X. I can't think of his name now.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, he's a far better actor than everybody on there. And then when Worf and what's his name? Second in command.
Riker.
They're beefing over that woman. You felt like, yeah, they really beefing. If Riker didn't outrank him, Worf would have beat that ass a long time ago. He would have like, oh well. You know, the only reason that you're safe is because the only reason why you're safe is because you outranked me. If you didn't, I would have had a good old-fashioned Klingon ass over the contest.
Remember that one scene? You guys watched the Teen Titans show, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was kind of like having a conversation with some people on Twitter. And we were discussing that one episode, I think it was called Trog, when you learn more about Starfire, her people, her culture.
Mm-hmm.
And some people had called her like a Trog or something like that.
Oh yeah, that actually was a whole episode when Teen Titans, like one dude started insulting them when they brought him in their ship or whatever.
Yeah, and Cyborg called her a Trog because he thought it was just something that they, he didn't think it was like a slur. And Starfire turns, he's like, "Did you ever call me that?" He was like, "I thought you said it didn't mean anything." She was like, "No, I said it didn't. It means nothing. When people call us that, it means they're saying that we're not worth anything." And then he was like, "I'm sorry, I understand." And he was like, "She's a you do?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm a cyborg." People, and I was like, "That's a missed opportunity." I mean, clearly the whole episode was supposed to be about racism. Like, I remember first seeing it, thinking he was gonna say, "Yeah, because I'm black," but he says I'm a cyborg. I'm like, "What the fuck, cowardice?" And this one guy was like, "Well, I thought it was just really good writing. They didn't have to put the race in there. Everyone knew what it was about, and it's a kid's show." And I was like, "Okay, so you can have in a kid's show, you can have things about being bullied. You can have things about having depression after a breakup. You know what I'm saying? Even school shooting type shit. But you can't talk race, so kids don't deal with racial issues." I was like, so it's more important to protect the white sensibilities because you're afraid to talk about it than it is to actually talk about it, so that kids who have to go through it can actually, and then maybe kids who are actually engaging in racism can kind of, you know what I'm saying, see how people whatever. I was like, it was a shitty argument. It's a real shitty argument. I remember seeing that episode, like, oh, this motherfucker about to say because he's black. And he's like, oh, because I'm a cyborg. I was like, what? Really?
You know, I don't remember that episode, but I remember back in the day because I'm like, you know, I'm not an avid comic collector anymore. When I was a comic collector, they had a Green Arrow comic book where not only did Speedy was he hooked on drugs, he was dying of AIDS. I was like, oh my God.
I know. Yeah, dude, this motherfucker go talk about. I mean, they had this one. I remember they had this one cartoon. It was literally about a dude that cross-dressed to become a superhero. I was like, okay, you can have that, but we can't bring up racism. Like, particularly anti-black racism. No, we can't have that. No.
Like, I sat there and I'm like, you motherfuckers ain't even trying. You know, at least back in the day, even though they really didn't hit on it like as hard as Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Chris Claremont did back in the day. Like X-Men '92, they really had some hard hitting like, issues in there.
It did.
Like they had religion, they had racism all the time, and
that's why when people say, well, everything today is just so woke. Like, we've had black people star and stuff. We've had where they bring up issues and stuff like that. It's just they back then they just knew how to write. They knew how to make you care about the character. Whereas these days people don't know how to write.
No, but the people who do know how to write the characters, they want to fire them over.
It's just too much.
Hold on. Yeah. Well, no, the people who do know how to write characters and make compelling stories, they want to fire them over their home life. But like nobody will care. Hold on. Matter of fact, this is why the wait. And if you want to cancel me, I don't got anything to cancel. Cancel.
I don't got nothing.
We don't get enough views to get canceled. I'll be honest.
We live in a country where the president can outright say, I don't want these people here because they're from different places. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, that's
we live in a country. That's his prerogative. Exactly.
What I'm saying though is like we have a right as a country to say, yeah, we don't want these people to come here. We have that right.
This is true. We don't want you here.
I don't want them here either. None of them.
That's true.
No, I mean from everywhere. I don't even talk about one particular place. So take care of the people here first. How about that?
They're not gonna do that. They still. Hey, I'm just saying this. G Flux, my friend. We're next, and they don't even got any place to put us.
Then we're not next.
Yes, we are.
How? You fucking liberals been saying that shit. Oh, you think they gonna come for you?
I'm not a liberal.
Let them come. Where they go? Where they go to? Unless they just.
Where they gonna put us? The ground, motherfucker. The ground.
That's what I'm saying. Unless they just do some genocidal shit. You know what I'm saying? But y'all been saying that shit for years. Years y'all been saying this shit. And I was like, if that's the case, you really think voting's gonna stop that?
Nope.
Exactly. So shut the fuck up.
Nope, it's not.
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And you motherfuckers ain't gonna do shit about it. How about that?
And we're not. And you're not either.
I'm gonna do some shit about it. I might die in the process, but I'm gonna
be the motherfucker, the first one. You're gonna be the first one singing the new remixes of Negro hit spirituals.
I don't fucking know. I don't sing and I don't fucking dance.
Yo, you gonna buck dance with this?
You butter biscuit.
Draw for your freedom. That's exactly what it say. Draw for your freedom. You better make it good. You got AI now. We don't need you. Oh, but it took me forever. But I finally got the image of the Defiant up.
Yeah, you see that card? Like trash, dude. Look at that. Like, what is that?
Oh my god! What the world?
Hey, Uncle David tried to defend that. I'm like,
you can't defend that, bro. What I don't. Are you sure it's even a ship? That doesn't even look like a ship.
Yeah, it's like trash. It's like
what does this look like? No.
You know what it looks like?
Explain.
You know what it looks like? You know what this looks like? This looks like someone who's just starting out learning how to 3D model, and they just put a bunch of basic shapes together. That's what that looks like. That's what that looks like. like trash. Like you know what? It made it actually look much better. They just take that front part off.
Yeah,
That
you're
front
actually kind of
part,
right. Like that
take
does
the
not
front
look
part
good.
off. It will still kind of look like trash, but it look better than what it looks like right
Well,
now.
if I remember, that front part comes off. It's like a escape hatch or something.
Yeah, but it looks stupid.
Muty.
Okay, you got to redesign that ship then as a part of your series.
I should. There's some other ideas I have for my series. I want to design melee weapons for Star Citizen, and then have you model it in 3D. I think that'd be really cool. I think they should implement that. But the cool thing is I can design how the melee weapons.
I mean, we could technically mod the game. I don't know if we can mod that game. This is always online. I don't know how to get banned if I mod the game.
I don't think you can mod Star Citizen, can you?
I mean, you technically can. It's just a matter if you get banned or not. I'll have to check and see. Because it's technically, I'm assuming there's already melee weapons in the game already, right?
No.
There's none?
No, there's none. There's no. I think there might be a knife. I think you can get a knife. That's it.
Are they still hold on? Are they still working on Star Citizen? It's not even a fully developed
like
game yet.
20 years.
Yeah, it's going by pretty slow. I wouldn't have a lot of faith in that thing coming out in the couple years, man.
Somebody was trying to get me into I think it was you guys. What was that game? Hell's Gate. Hell's. You basically you go to different planets and you got like you're like mercenaries or whatnot, and you got to put down robots and bugs and everything.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
No, I played No Man's Sky. It got good. It just came out like last year.
Oh, Helldivers.
Yeah. Somebody tried to get me into that, and I'm like, I don't play well with
it was pretty fun. When I was playing with John and Carbon, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, but like when they first unveiled it, the ship. I remember the episode. Like everybody was like, "Oh, shocked," and then and it was small. It's really, really small compared to.
I don't mind it being small, but why they gotta make it look like shit? Like if they made like a small, stealthy looking warship, I think that's cool. This is just such a shitty design, man. It's just so bad. Yeah, I should redesign this for my series.
You should call your series redesigning mediocre art or something like that, bro. You gotta think of a good name for your redesign series.
I was just gonna call it redesign.
All right, let's see. I'm just doing a size comparison of it's terrible. There's a good one. All right, so the first one, the very first ship was the original Enterprise. The second one is Next Generation. The Voyager. The third one is the Defiant. The fourth one is the Voyager. The fifth one is the new Enterprise. The newest, not the newest one, but it's the one right before the Enterprise J. And the one in the back is the one they had for the movies.
The Voyager one is the one that looks more like
triangular one.
Looks more amphibian, right?
The triangular one, the third one.
Yeah, amphibian.
Yeah. This one right here. You see my mouse moving?
Yeah, I said amphibian. Yeah, that's why I am.
I don't.
It has more of aquatic looking shape to it.
I know, but I don't get that from. I'll say more arrowhead like versus saucer or shovel shape. But but out of all these ships, right? The well, actually, the most like if I remember correctly, it would be this Enterprise right here at the bottom was the most deadly ship because it was like I think it was Dreadnought class or something like that. Because it was built to fight the Borg.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Defiant was made for. It was built for fighting the Borg. If I am remembering correctly, they made and Defiant got his ass whooped in that show. You know what? That's what Star Trek should be named. If we can't talk it out, we're gonna get our ass whooped. That's what we should call it. We don't do talking around here. We take L's. All right, but as for just stop. Gene Roddenberry was hitting on something, and I think his family still owns it. I know his wife's not alive anymore, but I think his family still owns Star Trek or the rights to it for the most part, or Paramount does, one of the two. But they are not sitting there deviating so far from his original idea that you're sitting there scratching
Have
your
you
head.
seen some of the newer stuff? What are you talking about?
I have not. I'm not. Last thing I saw from Star Trek was those movies.
Yeah, watch some of the newer stuff, like some of the newer series or whatever, and definitely deviating. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's just the way that they're telling the stories. 'Cause, I mean, Star Wars has always had talked about social issues and stuff like that.
Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Star Trek, but they got to put the feminist shit in there now these days.
What? Hey, here's something we never really hit on. What series that is we're doing pretty bad? Do you think they could save?
I just watched a series called Limetown or something like that. Yeah, Limetown. And it started off pretty good, interesting premise, but it just got. I saw what they were trying to do, and it just didn't work. But there was one scene because it was the basic premise behind the story is that there's this town called Limetown, which was like a experimental town where a bunch of research scientists and stuff were told to come and live at. There was no money, everything was paid for, and some people worked in the research lab, other people just did regular stuff. But the idea behind the town was this new technology being made to where you would take this pill and you have to take this supplement. No, you wouldn't take a pill, but they would insert this implant into your brain. You have to take this supplement. And anyone who had the implant and the supplement and takes the supplement could communicate with each other telepathically. And they based it off of this guy who actually had real telepathic ability. And they used his brain waves and everything to kind of create the technology or whatever. And anyway, long story short, everyone in the town disappears because half the people in the town got it, half people in the town didn't get it, and half the people in the town that didn't get it felt like they were being left out because people were talking to each other. It's almost like they were becoming like superior beings or whatever the other ones. So the people who didn't get it burned down the town. They burned the one guy at the stake or whatever. And I don't know. It's just the way they went about telling the story is just unbelievable. It was like, and then when I found out that's what everything was about, I was like, "What? That's what this is about?" That, you guys.
Before we get too far into what you're saying, that's not exact anything what I just asked. I'm talking about what series, and I'm talking about series that we grew up on or any franchise.
Oh, you said that we grew up on. I'm sorry, I thought you meant just. My bad.
And I just finished doing the hair. What do y'all think of the hair?
It's fine to me.
I had to erase the ink lines on it because they kind of stick out. But I've always been a big sword and sorcery guy, man, and I still have faith in Conan if they can. I think they had the right guy for Conan. They just had a terrible script.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason Momoa made a really good Conan.
Like,
But yeah, that movie
I
sucked.
think any big brooding, hulking guy like Lobo, I think he was born to play Lobo. He was born to play Khal Drogo. When you really think about it,
Yeah, I would prefer to see him as Lobo than Aquaman for sure.
because I always felt Aquaman should look more like. Matter of fact, Chris Evans would have made a good Aquaman. Blonde hair dude, kind of slender build, but he still gives us a presence of strength. But only problem with Chris Evans is every time I look at him, that's my Captain America, y'all. I don't know what the hell Mike Anthony Mackie's doing, but he's not Captain America to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like, them casting Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. It was like, okay, we've already seen him as Iron Man. We know him as Iron Man. It's gonna be interesting to see how that works out.
Here's how Doom would have worked, right? And with Robert Downey Jr. If they just said Dr. Doom is going to be the main antagonist and not tell us that it's going to be Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
The shock value would have paid off more.
Yeah, you're right.
Versus
I think
coming out here and you're like, oh my God, it's Doctor, like, because as soon as you see it, you still got to compare him to all his other roles in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Versus, oh my God, it's Doctor Doom, and then and the damn thing about it is this: Doctor Doom has a fucking scarred face. I don't even think they should, unless they're gonna have a big how to do about how his face gets scarred up in these movies.
We don't know.
But he's already Doctor Doom in the movies. And if you come in there thinking they're going to see any type of lore to it, Doctor Doom and Reed Richards got into it. Dr. Doom and Reed Richards were
what I'm thinking they're going to do? I'm thinking they're going to. This could be the shock value part, that he's actually going to show up in the Fantastic Four movie, and he's from that universe, and then maybe he stows away on their ship. Because I know at the end of Thunderbolts, they show the Fantastic Four ship.
Yeah, they do. But it still doesn't change the fact. Like, I'm more intrigued with his surrounding cast than I am with Doctor Doom, if that makes sense.
I just don't give a damn. I didn't see Thunderbolts. I think I'm pretty much done with Marvel.
Well, they got evil Captain America in there, and I know I'm almost there with you. I'm almost like, we've seen everything we can see. Unless they start going to the scale of fights that happened in the comic books, or the spectacle that happens in the comic books, I'm not there anymore. I think
one of the greatest missed opportunities was I can't remember which movie it is. It might have been Ragnarok. They probably could have done it in Ragnarok. Matter of fact, I think they probably should have done this in Ragnarok. This is what I would have done. There's a comic book where I think Thanos is looking for one of the Infinity Gems or something. I can't remember what the reason was why he was in Asgard. He goes to Asgard looking for something, and him and Odin
go at it
down. I think the way Odin died was super like anticlimactic. I think that's what should have happened. Thanos, he goes to fucking Asgard. He's looking for another Infinity Gem. Odin is like, hell fucking no, get that out, and they get down, and Odin's like keeping his own, but he's just so old, and he dies as a result of the fight. That would have been way cooler. That would have been way cooler, man. But they did what they did. I mean, she was cool. Hela was cool too, though. I just didn't like the way Odin died. I thought that was lame. If they would have began Ragnarok like that, that would have been straight.
You know what? The only franchise that scores high across the board for me in the Marvel Cinematic Universe would be the Captain America movies.
Yeah.
Because he's basically doing amazing shit, but you expect him to do it. After the first Iron Man, everything seemed like, except for how his suits got assembled, he didn't do anything too spectacular as Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 was trash.
Iron Man 3 was trash.
I liked Iron Man 3. I didn't have a problem.
Now, they missed so many opportunities with one character in particular, though, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's the Hulk. He didn't do too many amazing things in that series. Only thing that made people go ooh and ah is when he stopped that Leviathan in the first movie.
Yeah, that first movie.
After that, what did he do?
Yeah, they pretty much nerfed him. They nerfed the Hulk for real.
Like,
he just got ass beat by Thanos. That's pretty much all.
Okay, Thanos is strong. I think Thanos is your favorite villain in the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah, Thanos is like if you look at Thanos, like what he's able to accomplish, I call it Thanos is like Doctor Doom in space.
Well, remember we both had the comic book where he said like the only human I respect is Doom, right?
Doom, yeah. He's the one of the few humans he keeps tabs on too. You ever seen that comic where like they show Thanos being a complete dick? Like there's just one guy on Earth,
and he messes with him so much. Like, you could have done so much, but I just felt like fucking with you in particular. Like, oh, you motherfucker!
Comes to every one of his birthdays or something like that. Just kind of
mess with him. Like, why are you doing this? Fuck him. That's why. You know what comic book I want? And I don't even want to read it because I already know what happens in it. I just want it. I want the comic book where Luke Cage chases down Doctor Doom for $200.
Yeah, he's like, you track you down for a measly
$200.
We gotta find that. I remember seeing that shit was hilarious, dude. Find that shit real quick, Demetrius.
Oh man, I sat there like, what?
He was like, for a paltry $200.
You come before Doom?
You gotta find that shit. That shit was hilarious, dude.
You come before Doom for $200?
A paltry $200.
And then he had all these riches around him and just took the $200 and left.
Where's my money? Bitch, where's my money? See. We gotta find that shit.
It's one of the. I know they're trying to do like stereotypic bullshit with this stuff.
That shit like that, man. It's like I remember watching the Luke Cage show, and I was like, this show is trash, man. They were trying to do some like Ryan Coogler. We have to talk about social. Just to make the shit fun. It's freaking Luke Cage. Make this shit fun, man. They got Luke Cage.
All right, there it is.
Speaking poetry and Shakespeare and shit. I'm like, come on, man. That's not Luke Cage, man. Oh, you found it.
When my men reported
crazy. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Black man in the Fantastic Car. Oh, I'm sorry. When my men reported a crazy black man in the Fantastic Four's craft, I knew it had to be you. Where's my money, honey? Money? What money are you talking? You mean the money I owed you from tracking down my robots? You came all this here for a paltry $200? You're crazy.
Like, bitch, where's my $200? Dude don't get it. Right? You know, black men, we don't make a lot of money. So you say you're gonna get the motherfucker $200. You didn't give him $200, man. Shit like that. Like, why wasn't that in the Luke Cage show? I know they probably could use Doom, but they could have used another, like, you know, like major villain or something like that. You know, like Kingpin or something. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, you know, like. I'm sorry, that Luke Cage show was trash, man. Straight trash.
They had well, Michael Coulter doesn't have the charisma. He has the look, but he doesn't have the charisma for Luke Cage.
Well, I don't know, because I just think that was the way he was directed. Like, there was just bad direction. Like, the direction they went with the character, I don't even actually think it was his acting or his stage presence. It's just I mean, they tried to do like I'm from the streets, but I'm highly educated. I quote Shakespeare and all that. Like, it's a fucking Luke Cage. This ain't Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's Luke Cage. He's supposed to be kind of like a comedic type of, yeah, like he's a brute. Yeah, you know. I mean, he's not a dummy either, but he's not like, he ain't gonna quote Shakespeare. It's freaking Luke Cage. Yeah.
You want to know one of the worst superhero shows I've ever seen? They had in the mid 2000s they had the Blade show.
Oh, with the guy from
Onyx.
Onyx. Yeah, I never seen it.
Good thing. But yeah. Where's my $200? That's all I'm gonna say.
A paltry $200.
$200. And what makes it so funny is the fact that it's Dr. Doom. Now, you were saying if it was any other like major super villain.
No, I'm saying if they did that in the show, I could see them not using Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is a very popular character. They probably wouldn't have to be able to get the rights to him. But they could have done it with another villain, like another really powerful villain. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, it wouldn't have the same effect as Doom.
I think so, dude. Because the fact that it's Dr. Doom makes it just that much more hilarious.
Because Kingpin, they're from the same city, and they would have. You would have to go steal the Fantastic Four's car.
Yeah.
To go get him. You can walk uptown to go get him. Now, and that's another funny scene, right? When he goes into the Fantastic Four, the Baxter building, he beats all them up just to get their car.
To get what?
He beats all them up just to get their car.
Oh, for
I was like, I have never wanted a comic book so badly in my life.
I'm sorry, that is hilarious, dude.
And don't get me wrong, it just shows motivation, right? Look, not taking away from.
Well, I think it also, like, if you want to do some kind of social commentary on it, it shows you that, one, black men don't make a lot of money. Two, we don't have a lot of recourse when it comes to legal stuff. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to do a lot of street justice. You know what I'm saying? You sure did do that shit.
And it shows determination, too.
Yeah.
It really does show determination. You know why? Because Luke Cage he's very, very strong. Let's not call it anywhere sideways. But Ben Grimm is a lot stronger than Luke Cage. And he beat his ass. Well, either you're going to give me the ship or I'm going to take it. Why? Why do you need our ship? This motherfucker owe me $200. Just the look I would have gave him, like, what? You weren't going to go fly across the world to go collect?
I should have made that the thumbnail.
Where's my money?
Where's my money, honey?
And that's kind of a weak line right there, but it's still the whole premise makes up for it. Where's my money, honey? Like, come on, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, it'd have been better if you would just say, like, where's my money? That would have been better if you said that. Yeah. When was this, in the 70s? Did they make this in the 70s?
Yeah, it had to be in the 70s because the look.
I mean, yeah, Luke Cage's whole look is definitely 70s for sure.
I want my money. And not only did I think it's the more hilarious thing is this. It's not the fact that he didn't just steal the ship and fly directly into Castle Doom. He stopped on the border of the country. marched to the Titan Castle Doom. So, if we're using realistic time, he had time to think about what he was doing. Oh, yeah, time to really think about. Okay, what am I doing here? Yeah, you owe me $200. I am not going home without that $200. Like, really put your mind behind that. He's not going home without $200 from Dr. Doom. Any of the people he beat up along the way could have gave him $200. He said, "Hey man, here you go."
You could have sold the Fantastic Four ship and got way more.
The $200.
He was determined. He was like, "This motherfucker skipped me on my money." Oh god.
Marvel was hitting on something back then.
I think so. He was like, "It's the principle, ain't the money." Like, this motherfucker, you gonna stiff me? You don't stiff Luke Cage.
Oh man. Oh,
dude, you know how great of a scene that would have been in the Luke Cage show? I remember watching Luke Cage. I was getting bored. I was like, "What is this? Like, what is this garbage?" Yeah.
Matter of fact, Luke Cage should have been Michael Coulter, but have Mahershala Ali's personality in that show.
Matter of fact, you know what I would have done for Luke Cage? I'd have done something like do the experiment stuff and all that stuff like that. But I would have probably done something similar to Captain America, where the experiments happened to him in the 70s, and it was some kind of like attack or something on the lab or whatever, and he gets stuck in some kind of stasis, and he wakes up and it's modern times, but he still has his like 1970s slang and sensibility or whatever. I'd have done something like that. Like, there's so much they could have done. I think they squandered it. That was one show they squandered.
Just before the building got blown up, one of the scientists said, "Hey, you can go in the tube, but for a meager $200, we'll give you $200 to go in the tube." He's like, "All right, after everything's said and done, I'll collect that money." And through the whole series, he's chasing down the scientist for his $200. Oh, and just for that sheer comic book moment, Luke Cage is granted 7 Lucent bulbs. Hasn't done anything of note. Well, currently he's the mayor in the comics. He's the mayor of New York, but that still pales in comparison of chasing down Dr. Doom for $200. But yeah, it just shows you, man. Back in the day, comic book stories were real. Let me see if I can find that comic book cover. Speedy on drugs. What's wrong, Speedy? Are you on drugs? Yeah, Speedy's on drugs.
What? One idea I had, guys, for a show too is we can maybe discontinue the Lucent Truth show, and we specialize, and we do like a horror show. I had an idea for like.
Well, horror is pretty popular for indie people, so I mean that's probably our best bet, to be honest with you.
Stop being a cheerleader. Stop being a cheerleader.
Listen to me, guys. No, it would be a horror movie and show review show. So we're specializing rather than just doing everything, and it's hard to niche it. We specialize in that one thing, and I had an idea on how we could theme it. You know what I'm saying? And we would have visual effects and everything throughout the show. So that's one idea. Or we could do
Well,
that one
let's
idea I
hash it
had
out,
earlier in the year where we do a comic show where we review comics and
Black Comics. Yeah, I was actually looking
Black,
forward to that one, but that never
Black
came
comics.
out. Mhm.
Yeah, I never finished the logo design for it, but that's one idea we could do. So it's just you guys let me know, because I do think we probably need to discontinue the Lucent Truth, because it's I don't think it's really bringing any real value to anybody. The views aren't really going up. The show's all over the place as far as what we talk about. We really talk about just pretty much all pop culture. But I figure if we niche it more, we might get a little bit more success.
You know what I was thinking
of?
You know what I was thinking about doing? I'm thinking about, can we link the show to our own social media?
Yeah, you can.
All right, so next show, that's what I'm gonna do, is link it to my Facebook, because every time I do a live, I get a lot of people, my friends and everything, looking at it. So
yeah, you could do a dual stream.
All right, cool. We're gonna do that.
You'll have to look up how to do it.
All right, and just early, this is when I was talking about when comic books were real. Like, this is the infamous or famous Speedy on drugs, and
AIDS too.
And I think it came out in this book, but he was dying. Matter of fact, Karen Page from the Daredevil comic books, she died of AIDS in the books.
Yeah,
there's a lot of, and I'm just gonna point this out. It might just be coincidence, but the book is $200.
Jeez.
So that might be Luke Cage's book. So if you buy it, make sure you have his money. But look at that. They would not show this on in today's comic books. It'd be some synthesized inhaler or something. You dare come to Doom for $200?
For a paltry $200?
$200? Oh. What? Mm-mm-mm. But hey, we don't got nothing else. See you next week.
We're done already.
Yeah. We've been on it for an hour and a half. What else? It was just shooting the breeze.
Are you recording your progress? That's
I'm
what
not
our
recording these. That's all.
I'm recording
Done,
right
right?
now too. I'm talking to both of you guys. That's one thing I've
I'm not
been
recording anything.
getting more in the habit in is recording my process.
I mean, it's just some random freaking skeletons. I mean, I don't know if I should record these. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because you're
I
really.
don't know who would want to watch me making some random skull heads, you know?
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But if you ever want to do like a little docu thing on the creation of your comic, Demetrius, you might want to start recording some of what you're doing using OBS.
Mm-hmm.
You can record your screen and you can like edit it down into like a little time lapse thing later on if you want to.
I'll make sure to do so. But fellas, until next time, I'm out.
Oh, we're calling it quits here. All right.
Yeah,
How long
I mean, I'll stay even if you want to.
How long we been doing it? Well, that's probably time. I mean, what time did we start? We started at 2:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put some time in.
Yep.
Well, before
All
you
right,
go,
y'all.
let's wait. Before you go, everyone kind of explain what they've been working on, what they're doing. I'll put you. Who wants to go first?
Let me go first because I got to do something.
Okay.
G-Flux helped me out with where it looks. I'm coloring the hair first so I can see how it goes against his background, and I limited the opacity on that one.
I was going to say, do you really want to get this detail with the coloring for a comic? But you're not going to be drawing any background, so you have a little bit more energy, I guess. To put in. Yeah.
Yeah, remember, that's my whole thing, and I can, like, the backgrounds are going to be made, like, by photos. Like,
one thing I will say though is when you're drawing these characters, you do somewhat have to take into the account the lighting of the scene. So they kind of fit in there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I would do is, I think one way to make it so that it fits inside the scene is instead of using extremely vibrant colors for the characters, sample colors from inside the photo and then use those colors for the character. So like for his red hair, sample a red from the
background image.
From the background image. And then you can still change maybe the tone of the red, but don't change the brightness or the saturation of it. You see what I'm saying? So it looks like he's more immersed inside the actual scene. One day you got to come over so I can show you. It's easier for me to actually show you that by hand rather than trying to, talk you through it online.
I'll make sure to do so.
Yeah.
All right. Kayla, your turn.
Yeah, I'm just making some handful schools right now. This was the first one.
Yeah, it's coming out good, man.
And
yeah, your sculpting skills are on point.
The second one.
You're still working on this one, I could tell.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. I haven't
it's
gotten that far yet.
It's getting there though, yeah. All right. And I am, of course, working on my redesigning Ariva series. If you notice here, like I got her sort of like body parts, some of her body parts broken up into different layers. Because when I'm done, I'm going to take it into Live Studio, and I'm going to like do like that 2.5D little animation. So on this one right here, she's going to be kind of like going, oh, wrong one. That's the right one. Okay, so just select all of them. Yeah. So she's kind of going like this. And you're gonna see speed lines going in the back, and then her legs and moving. You're gonna see the hair kind of like wafting or whatever, almost like she's charging forward or whatever. And then I'm gonna do a couple more drawings of her in this one where I'm gonna do a scene where she's been defeated by Darth Vader, and her hair is gonna be cut off, and it's gonna be kind of like bushy, and she's gonna have the yellow eyes because she's letting the full evil side of her kind of show. Whereas in her normal mode, she doesn't really let that side show. She can really kind of suppress it really well, and she comes off as really benevolent, to the population when she's going out there inquisiting, whatever it's called that inquisitors do. And I'm gonna do one more where she's just kind of like holding up her hands using the force power, like lifting something up, but then you also see her hair kind of like almost like they're like curling up, like she's using them as like other limbs. So yeah, this is the most involved one. The other ones are going to be more sketchy, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. And after that, I'll be
story going
on. No, well, I haven't really been working on that a lot. A lot of my time has been eaten up by the making these damn thumbnails and clipping the videos for the clips channel. But again, I think we should probably discontinue it and focus on something a little bit more niche, like a horror. Where we specifically talk about horror, or we specifically talk about Black comics. I'm gonna let you guys decide. And then we can plan it out from there. I'll have you guys help me plan it out, like doing all the visual effects and stuff for it. The horror one I think would be cool for the visual effects side. No, I did that because the comics one I was going to do some visual effects too for that one also. For the horror one, I was going to call Twilight Horror Reviews, and the mascot was going to be the vampire chick that I drew for the first album we did. And I was gonna have like this thing. I was gonna sketch it out, Carvin, but I wanted you to 3D model it, where it's almost like this, like it's like a skull urn type of thing. And what we do is we throw a whole bunch of movies inside the urn, right? And it cycles through them. And then when it cycles through it, it'll like emit it as almost like these like souls coming out, and it'll tell you which movie we're going to review next. Right, so we'll have like a whole list, but it'll be random, like as far as which movie we're going to review, unless we do like a special show where we're doing a particular review for a movie we went to go see. So that was one idea I had, and the basic concept behind the mascot was going to be Cynthia was going to be like this demonic vampire type thing, and she kind of like interrupts us every now and then to say something, and then like if she gets mad at us, she'll like go into like this demonic form, and she'll try to escape. And then we'll use like these wands to like hold her in place and put her back in the urn, something like that, huh?
Wands.
Well, the way I was going to design it, I'm calling it a wand, but the way I was going to design it to be like these like magical, whatever.
Yeah, you wouldn't stop a vampire with a wand. Wouldn't you use like garlic?
Well, she's a demonic. She's a demonic vampire. She's not like her backstory is not like a regular vampire story. Like I got to tell you her story one day, but anyway, so that's one idea. Like it's more of a theatric type of show, almost like those old horror anthology things like Elvira and what's the one guy, Spaguli.
Tales of the Crypt.
Yeah, we have like props and sets and stuff like that. We're not really props. It'd be more like you put a green screen, and like each green screen would have like its own whatever. So that's one idea. The other idea was the Black comic one. You guys let me know which one you want to do, but that's the direction I was thinking about going in to kind of try to get more views on the show.
Well,
and of course,
I actually like the Black comic one idea more, but okay.
Well, we could do the Black comic one. I had a similar idea for that one too. It wouldn't have a mascot, but what I would do is, okay, all of us, we would create another little thing that would be kind of like a raffle. We'd pick a whole bunch of Black comics and throw it in a raffle. We'll decide which one, and then
I personally don't read comics, so it's like us.
Well, we would read it for that. Like comics don't take that long to read, dude. We would read it for that week. Like whatever comic we get it in, or we order like 10 of them, so we'll be like ahead or whatever. We'll get it in, and then you got a week to read it. At the end of that week, we'll do the show. We'll do our review on it. But the cool thing is, what we'll do is we'll break it down first. Like we'll say, okay, well here are the characters. So I'll make a little animation for the characters coming in. It won't be like I'm actually animated, but like it'll just slide in or whatever, and we'll say, okay, here are the names of the characters or whatever, here's the basic synopsis, and then we'll give our review. You know what I'm saying? So that's another idea too. Here's the thing, Demetrius, about the comic one. If we do black comics, that's very niche.
Yeah,
We will be.
I don't think we should do that. That's
it
too
will.
niche, bro.
It will bring some
Shut up, Drew.
value. It will bring some value because I don't see anybody doing it. So we'd be different in that regard. That we only review black comics. So it bring values because we could market it to large black crowds or groups or whatever who may not know about some of these comics. And then we'll have some famous ones we do, like what's it called? Bitter Roots. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll have some less famous ones that we'll do. And for new ones, we'll do special shows. Like if a new black comic comes out and it's brand new, we'll do a special show. That won't be in the raffle. You know what I'm saying? So it could still work. It would still be a cool idea, and we would bring value. It's just
Hey, let me call you back.
It's horror. It's the horror one.
Hey,
You talking to us?
Dang,
I don't know. Let me go check.
And I need to put some information out of that place that you can get about injuring yourself.
All right. All right. Hey, fellas, I gotta go. Something's going on with my neighbor.
All right, yeah, we'll end it here. You guys think about what I said, and then we'll decide which direction we want to go in after that.
So is the only two choices we have, or
Unless you guys come up with some other ideas.
I would say somewhat video games. You guys don't play enough video games for that.
Yeah, we don't. And playing video games takes a lot of time. But if you read a comic, that's easy. Reading a movie, it doesn't take that long. Or watching a movie doesn't take that long. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later. Too bad we'll be playing Star Citizen with us tonight. We're gonna go through the portal and go to the other solar system.
I'm playing Baldur's Gate, bro.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, I'm playing a finished game that everybody likes. So you playing a game that's unfinished. You about to freak glitch or some crap like that. Or you about to miss something. You have to fly all the way back. And spend 20 minutes flying. Man, we spend more time flying than actually playing the game. And you know I'm telling the truth. At least it's not as glitchy as it was before. But yeah, you told me it might be glitchy. You left that portal and you about to fall through the ship again like you did that one time.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll talk later.
All right.